Shabbat Shalom. I am so glad that you are here, and this morning we have a very interesting portion, Chukkat, as regulations, and then come from the word hok, that is a status of regulation, and the plural, hukim. This is something that our sages tell us that there is no an explanation, there is no a logical explanation, and that we need to accept it through faith, emunah, and because the Creator is giving us something that is not very clear for us to understand. We have made certain approximations and certain ideas, and we're trying to explain it in many different ways. It's even told that Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, with all his wisdom, was not able to decipher or to understand this hukim, this hok. It's about the clean become unclean, and the unclean become clean. You see that there is certain things that are interesting. There has a red heifer. The red heifer, for us, the paraduma, has also meanings behind in the Jewish history at the beginning of the Yexiah, of the living Mizraim, Egypt. If you remember, immediately after giving the 10 words or the 10 commandments, Moshe Rabbeinu went to the mountain to receive the tablets, and the people start having problems that he was not coming back, and they built up their own god, and that was a Egel Sahab, and a golden calf. Then they say that there is a very interesting illustration by our rabbis are always very smart. I need to accept that. They have wonderful idea. For example, they say, what happens if a mother goes to a palace, to the king palace, with a baby, with a child, and the child do poo-poo over the main room. What they do? They call the mother to clean the poo-poo. No? Then, in this way, they call the red heifer, the paraduma, the red cow, to clean what the Egel Sahab, the golden calf, did. This is one of the ideas, and there are many, many ideas of what red, and the red has many, many meanings, from sin to life and whatever you wanted to put in any connotation. But I always come to you to bring to you the Torah, how we can apply to our life today. That has been my main issue during this year. This portion has other part that is very important to understand. From this portion, we make a jump. We jump 38 years. From the second year that we were in the Bamidbar, we were in the middle of the desert. We are going to be at the end, when we are now just ready to get into the promised land. And we are going to see something very different. What is different? In these 40 years, what has changed? And something very important. This is totally a new generation. The old generation has gone. And to emphasize the idea, in this portion, we are going to see the passing away of Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu, and also the passing away of his own brother, Aaron, the Hagadol Kohen, the high priest. And then that generation is going to depart, and including, it's told that Moshe Rabbeinu also won't be able to get into the promised land, and he's going to pass away too. Then it's going to be the ending of this generation. The change of generation, the change of the batuta, the chains of the rod. You know, we need to constantly, in Judaism, we have this idea about eternity in ourselves through continuity through life, and we keep living through our descendants. Now, one thing that I would like that you look at from the ideas about what all these teachings are good for me or how I can apply in my life. Sometimes we do not realize that many of the instructions that are given were given for a time and a period that we had first the Ohel Moed and then the temple, that we don't have it anymore. You know, even today, there are some of the groups in Israel, they're very strict about going to the top where supposedly the temple was built, because they don't feel clean to go there, you know, and that's the only area that you need the rehefer ashes in water to clean yourself. But what we can bring for us today, that to me was, I was really looking and trying to understand that how we can share this and apply to our life. What is very interesting to me is, I was looking from this point of view. You know, when you go through death, through the loss of a dear one, a beloved person, you know, there is something in you that happens, that you become literally almost not only saddened, but you lose even the joy of living yourself. You lose the capability of keep going. It's like everything ended. And if the person who has passed away is something very important in your life, it's a very hard stroke. Then here, what we are trying to see is that our God is the God of the living, is the God the world we are today. In the scriptures, in the Torah, basically what it says, for example, with Miriam and Aaron, they went to be with their parents. You know, a euphemistic way to say that they died. But also in that phrase, to me, it's very interesting, because there is an idea about continuity. If you're going to be with your parents, okay, could give you the idea that it is still something happening. You know, I always call it as an engineer in my early life. You know, I still see as another dimension, no, another possibility, and I do not want to be so limited only to look at myself that I am limited by time. What is important to see is all of us, without exception, we has been made to the likeness and image of the Creator. And one of the things that's very clear in the Torah, that to make us humans, and this is a very important thing, we have His Ruach. And the Ruach is part of the Creator. And the Ruach never dies. I want to give you that simple connotation, that you understand that there is more beyond what we can see. But we are limited because we can only see what we are. When I was learning about the theory of Einstein and the four dimensions and all these things, you know, what's very interesting to me as a student of physics, and I was so excited with the formulas and all those things, but they told me about the fourth dimension. You know, I already have problems to understand the third dimension, you know, in which we live. We're what we call it, we are people, we are flat people. 2 dimensions we see it very well, but at 3 dimensions we start having problems. And can you imagine 4 dimensions? There's no way for us to understand it. Then we learn sometimes to be modest, to be humble. And one of the ideas it is to accept that we still have limitations. You know? In Judaism, in the Torah, the Creator always teaches that there is no one that is perfect. No one. There is no perfection in us. Other religions, they teach you that you need to become perfect, through certain ways or methods, praying, sacrificing, beating yourself, or not eating, or whatever, and you eliminate your human part, and you become pure air, and you start floating on the air. And here we have many people who like to fly, But I always bring people down to earth, because this is where we live and where we are. Then, why this special, the para aduma? How we can look at for ourselves? Let me show you in this way, or let me try to explain you in this way. When you have a friend who is in troubles, who's going through a very difficult times, and you go to that friend and you sit out with that friend, and you listen to the friend. And what are you doing listening to the friend or trying to comfort your friend or your relative, whoever it is? You are taking all those, what I will call a negative side of that person, all those negative feelings, the darkness part that he's feeling, the heaviness in the spirit, you are taking it to you. And what you're doing with your friend or your relative, you are letting him or her alleviate themselves to be lighter. You made them lighter, but what just happened to you? You become heavier. In my life as a rabbi, I can tell you with all honesty that I have gone through very difficult times with certain people, in many ways. And many times I have taken their pain on me, and has been very difficult. It's very heavy. But I cannot go and say, look at what happened. I took the pain of the other person. What you do, you need to digest it and take time for yourself to get clean again. The Paraduma gives us this idea. It's a reflection that the Creator is giving to us, that when somebody has going through this period of death, that at the time death means the end. You are not going to see that person anymore. It's not that they contaminate you in the sense that it is a disease, but it contaminates you, tamei, in your spiritual life. The word tamei, we have two words that we mention constantly, tahor and tamei. And I told you that is not what the people think it is. It's not dirt and not clean, as many people want to think. Tamei, what it means is that you are not fit in that moment to see the king. And why you are not fit to see the king, our Creator, blessed be his name? Because you are overpowered, you are overwhelmed with your own thoughts and ideas and heaviness. And you need to cleanse that up. How many of us, when we have been in a very difficult times, we have lost our calm, and we have lost our way of doing things. We lose our capability to deal with hard issues. everything touches us. We become very easy to be feeling bad. Why? Because we have too many things inside us. And we need to little by little undo it. Let it go. You know, when you have heaviness in your nefesh, in your soul, how do you unload that? And it's very difficult. This is the reason that you have friends, you have relatives, you have people with you that can help you to unload. But when you are unloading, somebody's getting it. And then you will feel much better, but as the person who received the load is going to feel now hard. The Creator has wonderful ways to make us ask to have a better life. But it's important what we do now and today. When Dennis mentioned about that, I totally agree about the idea about the Torah is teaching to us to live and to be here. You know, it's very interesting. The Creator in the Devarim, in Deuteronomy, at the end he say, I give you two ways, no? And from this side I give you life, you know, and from the other side I give you death. I ask you to choose life. Now, what really death is? Because in the Torah, there are many terms about to describing death. One of those is karet. What it means, karet, is cutting you off. You know? What happened? Listen carefully in this, and only you understand the principles here behind. What happened is all your family disowned you. What happened if your family say you are not any longer part of us? How do you feel? What is your reaction? You are cut from the line of life that you used to have. And the only way that you can restore that is to find another family, to find another relationship that's going to restitute the life. After this hawk about the paraduma, the red cow, comes about Miriam, and the Creator start telling the people about that they are going to take over the promised land, and Miriam passed away. Miriam was very beloved by the people of Israel. Miriam was like the mother of Israel. It was Moshe, Rabbeinu, Aaron, and Miriam, the three siblings, two brothers and one sister. And each one had a very important role to play. When your leaders start going away, it's like your parents passing away. How do you feel when your parents are passing away? It's something that has been cut on you. No? It's like your relationship means that have been cut. You don't have them any longer with them. With whom are you going to talk? With whom you are going to consult? With whom are you going to say, oh, they are my parents? If they pass away. They are not any longer with us. Now we have something very interesting. We have wonderful memories, and we build a relationship with our own children. and with our own people around us. This is why it's so important to understand about taking for others. No, you are not alone in this world. And each one of us, we are important. And each one of us, we have a role to play. And you will be almost amazed to know how important you are, even that you don't think you are. Without you, everything is different. You make the difference. And we have very negative. We have learned to be almost self-destructive. You know, I am good for nothing. I cannot do anything good. You know, I am not intelligent enough. I am not capable enough. I don't know what to do. Let me tell you, as the healing Psalms 139 say, each one of us we have been made in a marvelous way. Each one of us is very important. And my desire in this morning, Miriam passing away and then Aaron passing away, they pass the batuta to others. But there needs to be continuity in Israel. And interestingly enough, this new generation needed to relearn many things that the first generation learned. And what it tells us in this portion, there needs to be a constant renovation of generations. But are we the ones that the elder generation, we have the responsibility to teach the new generation? I agree that today we are living dangerous times where we have lost basically our moral standards. Our lack of decency is terrible in the world. And what is wrong now has become right. And because we keep being in the moral realm, in the I would say, in the way that the Torah teaches, and because we believe that we need to do the right things, we are considered now, quote unquote, fundamentalist. And it's very interesting. A fundamentalist is the one that is narrow-minded and blind. You know, I am neither narrow-minded, neither blind. But when I see danger, I need to say there is danger. If I look to the other side, I am irresponsible. But what happened today in the world? The people are submitted to what other people say. There is no any longer important what is right or what is wrong. What is important is what the majority say. And doesn't matter if the majority is going to take you to the cliff for destruction, you accept it blindly. The Creator has given eyes, spiritual eyes too. And we can still see the difference between what is right and wrong. The malady today is that the great majority of people has lost the spiritual sight to see what is right and what is wrong. And for that reason, the red cow won't do anything today. And you know why? Because most of the people don't want to see the presence of the Creator at all. And they cannot see. They are declaring themselves their own gods. That's what is happening. We humans, now, we are in control of our own destiny. And because of that, we don't need a creator. We don't need those things. And we can do whatever we want to do. Doesn't matter if we destroy the world, is our saying. Then, to put it back together is, the death of Miriam and Aaron, for us, tell us there's a change of generation, but this new generation, they need to learn from the old generation about the right principles. And if we change those principles, we bring chaos and destruction. And also, we need to be a community that we share with each other our triumphs and our defeats, and that each other share. In that way, we elevate those ones who are down, and those ones who are up going a little bit down. In that way, there is always a balance in all of us. Are you capable now to take the pain of your friend or your beloved person in order that you alleviate the pain of the other person? That will be something that we are learning among each other. Have a wonderful day, and Shabbat Shalom to all of you.